Al Gharafa, 3 times defending champions, that is. They currently rely on their Brazilian legend, Juninho Pernambucano, to bang in the free kicks here, week in, week out in club football. But the local league is taking a little break as the giants of the Asian continent take center stage here. It's the 15th Asian Cup, Qatar 2011, and it's the start of the second phase of matches in the group stage. Group A, the opening game this afternoon, Uzbekistan taking on Kuwait, and it's already a match of everything to play for. These two sides have never met before in the Asian Cup. They've met 3 times previously, including 2 World Cup qualifiers. They're 1 win apiece with 1 drawn match. Well, Uzbekistan opened their account on the opening day of the tournament with a comprehensive 2-0 victory over host nation Qatar. 2 fabulous goals from Akhmedov from fully 35 yards out, and then captain Jeparov capitalizing on an error at the back to make it 2-0 and make the game safe for Uzbekistan. A win this afternoon for the former Soviet Republic, and they will have 1 foot in the second round, while their opposition Kuwait, well, a certain Australian referee won't be on the Christmas lists of too many Kuwaiti players, and their coach Goran Tufecic, after he sent off one of their players in the first half for a nasty kick out, and that was after he denied them what they thought was a stonewall penalty, as well as a goal they feel crossed the line in the second half as well when it was still 0-0. Kuwait, they lost that game to China by 2-0, and only a victory for them will keep their hopes alive in this tournament. East Asian champions, Gulf Cup winners just a month ago. Here come Uzbekistan versus Kuwait. Empty seats around the Al Gharafa this afternoon. There is a pocket of very vocal Uzbeki support and a large contingent of Kuwaiti fans as well. There's a good wind up here at the Al Gharafa as well, although down pitch side I don't think it will have too much of an influence on proceedings. And it's time for the national anthems. Immediately we start with that of Uzbekistan. Warm applause for the Uzbeki national anthem, and now expect a huge reception for that of Kuwait. Kuwait's defeat to China in their opening Group A encounter was the first for their coach, their Serbian coach, Goran Tufecic, since taking charge of the Kuwaiti national side. His first game was a 1-0 victory over Australia in Canberra. Since then, he's collected the West Asian Federation Championships, the Gulf Cup as well. The first international titles for Kuwait in 12 years. He's called this their golden generation. They'll be looking to play their traditional game, which involves short passing and plenty of movement. But for Uzbekistan, their key will be plenty of pressure. They're a solid side, a European-style side almost. And we'll be seeing how this clash of styles and footballing philosophies plays out this afternoon. I'm your commentator, Robbie Thompson. I'm joined, as always, by Herr Bernd Stanger. And Bernd, you had some good news today with Belarus climbing yet another place in the standings. You're the national coach. You've already registered that great victory over France, and you're up to 37th in the world now. It's a good day, and how do you expect this match to go as well?
Uzbekistan's victory over Qatar underlined Uzbekistan's credential as potential title challengers. They have shown steady improvement in Asia since first competing at the Asian Cup in 1996. And I spoke this morning with head coach Vadim Abramov, and he's so confident to take 3 points against Kuwait. And Kuwait is deep in pressure because they came to this tournament full of confidence because they won 2 in a row, Gulf Cup and West Asian Cup, and that's why they have to do something. And Walid Ali, a legend with 100 caps, he said, we can consider ourselves as one of the favorites at the AFC Asian Cup, and we will see today how they can make it.
Well, the referee, Nawaf Shukralla from Bahrain, preparing to take charge of this one. 2 changes for Uzbekistan. They've dropped Shakob Jorayev, the number 6, who played in the center of defense, the Bunyad core man, and also dropped is the number 19, who had a great first half against Qatar, raiding down the left-hand side, Jasur Khazanov. He's been dropped coming into the side, the number 14, Stanislav Andreev, and the number 17, Sanya Tursunov. While for Kuwait, despite that 2-0 defeat, I was speaking to Goran Tufedzic this morning, and he said, we're not going to make any changes. The one change that he has made is a enforced one, if you like. The number 3, Fahad Awad, who's got Shaheen on the back of his shirt. He comes in to replace the obviously suspended Mesaid Nada. Well, it's all or nothing now for Kuwait after that first round opening game defeat to China. They need at least a point here to stay in with any chance. Otherwise, it will all come down to that final game against Qatar, a clash of Gulf nations, and they'll be relying on help from Uzbekistan and China as well in their final match to get the result to go their way. Uzbekistan with a real chance to take a big step towards the second round. We're underway at the Al Gharafa. We also have plenty of international experience in this one. Kuwait obviously relying on their star player Bader Al-Mutwa, the number 17. 37 international goals in 53 appearances. He is the go-to man in this side. He didn't produce enough in the first game we commentated against China. There he is trying to close down the goal scorer from that first match, Ahmedov. It's a ball over the top, looking to use his pace, and he's got there as well. And that was very nearly a handball outside the area. A little bit lucky to get away with that one. It was a lazy pass from Ahmedov, giving it away from Fahad Al-Anizi. And in the end, very good piece of keeping, Bernd.
It was a little bit lucky. It's true. It was a little bit outside. Handball. It's interesting. Coach of Uzbekistan said, we want to play pressing from the first minute. We want to show that we are going forward. We want to take 3 points. We are not a diplomatic team, and 6 points is would be the next round. And he said, Arabs, they don't like pressing, and we will do so.
So we can expect Uzbekistan to put as much pressure as possible on the ball carrier. They have the big number 15 up front from German descent, Alexander Geinrich. He's a big, strong boy up front. Likes to put plenty of pressure on. He's actually the current captain of Pakhtakor Tashkent. One of the big sides. They actually won 6 consecutive league titles until Bunyodkor got their first ever title in 2008. The throw is for Andreev, one of the new men in this side. Playing left back. Ismailov. Just waiting at the moment. That one's been turned over again. Yusuf, who was substituted after just 35 minutes against China, sacrificed to bring Shaheen into the game in defense. They've turned it over again. And once again, it's Fahad Anezi on the charge. The number 7 with the blue headband. But he can't get there. Nestarov making another save, a little bit more conventionally than his first after just 30 seconds.
Two different styles of football, definitely. Kuwait looks a little bit Brazilian, fantastic switch.
Good pressure as well. We see the number 16 burnt, Maxim Shatsky, the former Dynamo Kiev legend. He's currently the top scorer in the history of Uzbeki football with the national side, 32 national team goals, including a certain day when he scored 5 against Chinese Taipei in an Asian Cup qualifier.
Skatsky was a famous player for Dynamo Kiev. He had a lot of Champions League matches with Dynamo Kiev in a very successful time, and now he is one of the leaders in this team. But youngsters are coming up, and they have 300 new football schools in Uzbekistan. 300 financially backed by the government of Uzbekistan, and there are a lot of talents.
That's a good ball over the top, lovely ball. Jakub, can he keep it in play? The cutback, manages to get there, the shot at the near post. And it's Walid, who wasn't too far away from banging that one home at the near post. Well, Jakub Al-Tahir, the 27-year-old right back in this Kuwaiti side, he loves to get forward. Well, it's a good ball. Good work in the middle from Yusuf as well.
6 meters, at least he should find the goal.
Just unable to wrap that right boot around the ball enough. Well, Uzbekistan have all the ball in these opening 5 minutes or so, Bernd, but it's Kuwait who have had the best 2 chances so far.
Only 5 minutes, yeah, and 2 chances. They play very fast forward.
Here they come again, and perhaps this opening 5 minutes or so just justifying Goran Tufecic's choice of maintaining faith in 10 of the 11, minus Musaid Nada, who was sent off, of course, and has received a 2-game ban for violent conduct, kicking out at China's Yangzhou after 35 minutes. As we see that chance again, Walid. Great run from Jakub. Bader. Jeparov. Well, that's a lovely pass for Shatsky. Now Geinrich can't get on the end of it. And again, the fast break is on. Walid. Up against Ismailov. Walid still. He's done well looking for the free kick, and he's got it. The Bahraini official, Nawaf Shukralla, quickly on the scene. Well, they're trying to put pressure on in midfield. Bernd, it's these fast counter-attacks that are catching them out at the moment.
But that's what I said. Every single match, there are so many fouls around the box. And it's always dangerous, and we haven't such situation in Europe. Players are carefully.
Oh, we saw it yesterday, didn't we, with that free kick at the end for Iran against Iraq. As that ball is bent towards the back post. Not coming down, not dipping quickly enough. In the end, Amer Matouk's header. He was already behind the goal line. Just going back to Shatskir. Scored 97 goals in the Ukraine Premier League with Dynamo Kiev. He's since passed the 100 mark after a spell in Kazakhstan. He returned to Arsenal Kiev, and he's banged in the supplementary 3 to pick up 100 goals in Ukrainian football. Not a bad effort for the man who was considered Shevchenko's replacement at Dynamo Kiev. Jeparov. Inside, that's some nice play. Lovely touch from Akhmedov. Now Shatskir. Wide for the overlapping run. Good play this from Uzbekistan. The ball into the middle. It's a great ball! And the central defender, Akhmedov, who scored the opening goal against Qatar, the opening goal of this tournament, perhaps should have scored again. Oh, it's a great chance. I wonder if it just took a touch off on the way through that just put off Akhmedov. Fabulous run from the number 9, stepping out from the centre of defence and continuing as well. But you've been talking about that. When sides are counter-attacking, show some commitment, take the risk and get numbers forward, continue your run. It's exactly what Akhmedov did then.
And one-touch football, Skatskish did it. He switched the defense with one excellent pass, fantastic cross, but finally they should use this chance, and that's the difference. If you give great European players such a moment, they will take it.
Jeparov, who scored the second against Qatar. Kapadze, the number 18, operating in the middle of the park. He's the all-time leading caps earner in Uzbeki football. 78th cap this afternoon for him. Again, they get it wide. It's a good ball towards Tursunov. He's the other change from that opening match victory over Qatar. Tursunov coming in to replace Hazanov. In fact, perhaps it's because they worked too hard, or deciding on that change of tactics from Abramov to do some more pressing, but he's changed both fullbacks from that opening game. So that's a good ball in again from Tursunov.
Sometimes it takes 5-10 minutes to find a way to follow your game plan, and I believe they do it now. Skatskish was pressing. They are very compact and they try to win the ball very, very early.
Yakub for Badea. Good nod on for Yusuf, who heads down and finds Jara. That's a nice ball over the top for Yusuf as well. It needed defending, and Ismailov was there. Karpienko. That's well played again out of defense. One-touch football again, including Haydarov. Shatskir. Andreev inside. Kapadze again. Uzbekistan slow things down. They've got just their two central defenders back. Everyone pushing forward. The fullbacks have gone on the run. Cut out that time. Jara wide for Walid. Again, Yusuf's taking off. It's into feet to Badea. Jara. Well, he was looking for the big switch of play, but Fahad Enizi wasn't so interested. Late on the scene and no problem whatsoever for Andreev and Akhmedov. Jeparov. The Uzbeki captain Bernd won the title with Pakhtakor
year for year. He won titles. But he's a good player, and he is not the fastest.
Return ball for Walid. He's got Yusuf in the middle. Again looks for that low cross. Yusuf's a big, tall boy. That was easily cut out in the end by Akhmedov. Well, he's been an impressive performer at domestic level as now Shatsky. That's a lovely pass for Jeparov, the man we were talking about. Cuts inside onto the right foot. Good challenge. And it's Kuwait that could bring it away. Not for long. The challenge by Andreev. He gets it straight back. Gainrik. Hazarov.
Difference to Kuwait. They are pressing very early. Everybody who tries to win the ball back, even deep in Kuwait's half. And if the Kuwaitis lose the ball, there's only one player who tries to win it back. There is no, they are not compact.
Walid forward to Bader. And showing too much of that one to Karpienko. That's a good ball for Shatsky. Touch heavy under pressure from Jara. Just going back to Jeparov. Champion between 2002 and 2007 with Pakhtakor. Then he moved to Bunyodkor. Scored 19 goals in 23 appearances. Not bad for a central midfielder playmaker. Top scorer in the Uzbekistan league with Bunyodkor, who he led almost single-handedly to a first ever title, although he was playing with some former legends of the world game, the likes of Rivaldo. They've had some good coaches along the way as well, but just before we get onto that and this amazing history that Bunyodkor are writing, last season Jeparov was on the move again to FC Seoul, where he won the league again. He's won the league every year since 2002 and with 3 different clubs, and it's an incredible record. There he is, the number 8, the goal scorer already in this tournament, Gainrik, with a little nudge in the back.
But Robbie, standard of Uzbekistan Premier League is not so high. These are young federations. On the territory of Uzbekistan was only one team, Pakhtakor Tashkent. All the other.
Shatsky almost taking advantage.
All the other teams are merely amateur clubs, and now they are building up a new league. They try to do something. They have good marketing ideas, as they signed Felipe Scolari as a head coach for a club, and Rivaldo with 38 years, to do something to improve football.
They had Zico as well, didn't they? Bunyodkor, they invited Barcelona to come and train with them for a week for €1 million.
But now they believe it's better to spend this money for youth development and not for 38 years old star players and expensive world-class coaches.
Well, they made their mark, didn't they, Bunyodkor? They certainly grabbed some headlines around the world with their big spending and their star names. In fact, Abramov, who's enjoying a good run as Uzbekistan coach at the moment, he's their first local coach in over 3 years. They've had a string of foreign coaches that just haven't been able to get the results. It's another ball over the top. They're looking for those little dinks over the back, over the top of this Uzbekistan defense. Do you think perhaps they've highlighted that as a weakness? They're looking for Yusuf to run the number 20 between Akhmadev and Ismailov. And again, they've turned it over. Good pressure from Bader. Elenezi looking for the free kick, and he's got it.
Fahad was one of the best players in the last match. He was substitute, but he did a great job. He was the only dangerous player in the Kuwaiti team.
Well, that game we commentated against China, Bert, was one where we got talking about the final ball, that killer pass, because that's what was lacking, wasn't it, from Fahad in particular. He can glide past players, he's skillful, he's comfortable in possession with running with the ball at his feet, but sometimes he just forgets to look up, can't find that right pass. He lacks a little bit of composure with that final ball. But if he could rectify that, he'd be some player.
Let's see this free kick.
Jara.
Another in-swinger. Full risk.
With the left boot. Header away. Well headed away as well by Akhmedov. Little flick on, it's a good one. Bader El Mutfa can't quite get there.
Back to the final pass. It's missed in this tournament. You have not too many players and too many teams who use this final pass. It's more and more. They are looking Barcelona and Real Madrid.
It's given away again. Shachgir decides to try his luck from distance. He had a look up just before, perhaps spotting the keeper Nawaf just off his line. Bader El Mutfa, that's fabulous play. Fahad now. He's got Yusuf at the back post. Looking for the free kick and nothing given that time. And there's absolutely nothing there whatsoever. I'm not sure if he's angry with the linesman or with himself.
With himself, I believe. It was absolutely nothing.
What we call a big swan dive. Andreev under pressure from Fahad, who's possibly trying to make amends. They have pressured the back four for Uzbekistan to good effect. Created a couple of half chances as well early on through Yusuf and then Walid. But it's 0-0 after 18 minutes here at the Al Gharafa. The best chance of the match falling to the Uzbeki central defender Akhmedov, who won the ball on his own halfway line. Lovely interchange of passes, got it wide on the right to Karpienko, whose cross picked out the marauding Akhmedov, continuing his run, but unfortunately made a real hash of his header from just 5 yards out, with only the keeper to beat. Kuwait now, Fahad again. That's not the best pass, back to Yaqub, who gives it away immediately. Kapadze. Free kick for Kuwait. The Kuwaiti fans, who are a really good vocal support, as you can see and hear. They are a real footballing nation. They've all got the football shirts on as well. The team hotel has been awash with blue this morning in the lead up to the match, all awaiting just a glimpse of the players as they come onto the team bus. Yusuf for Bader. That's a nice ball back for Yusuf. Now can he muscle his way into a shooting position? He has done. And in the end, Hanzur Ismailov doing just about enough to put him off his shot. Well to make enough space to even think about the shot, because he was being closed down very quickly by Ismailov, who's a much bigger player than him, if it gets into a one-on-one muscle.
If you see both teams coming for breakfast, you can see the difference. Physical, strong, tall athletes from Uzbekistan. And then Kuwait, short guys, not so strong. Looks like a youth team, and it's a big difference. But
well, that in the end was the difference in the second half against China, wasn't it? Because the Chinese are in our hotel as well, and they are big boys. That's a good ball in towards Japarov. Shastki with the shot on the left foot, a snapshot out of nothing. And you remember the days of the great Shastki 10 years ago at Dynamo Kiev. We thought he was, well, he'd lost some of his luster, hadn't he, against Qatar in the opening game?
Yeah, he lost. He's older, 32 years old now, and he used to play striker. Now he came back to the midfield to organize a match, and he's slower. He was extremely fast. His career comes to an end. Okay, the coach said he's very important to lead the team now, and but I personally believe his best time was 6-7 years ago in Dynamo Kiev.
Fahad for Jara. Switch of play all the way across there to the left. Talal.
I'm a little bit surprised with Kuwait. They have to win but they have always 4 or 5 players behind the ball. They don't attack. There's no way, I believe, to beat the defense of Uzbekistan.
For the moment, they do seem more intent on not conceding a goal than scoring them themselves. Ismailov, Akhmedov, Andreev. More pressure coming. That's been caught though by Fahad. And the referee crossed very quickly to have a word. There's nothing too nasty in it from Fahad. He did catch the ankle. Long ball forward towards Jeparov. Now Andreev. Andreev's cross looking for Gainik. It's over him. And the defence not taking any chances whatsoever. Fahed Shaheen Awad conceding the corner. We're midway through the first half. Still scoreless here at the Al Gharafa Sports Club Stadium in this Group A match. The first 2 sides into their second matches of this tournament. Uzbekistan in the more favoured position. They currently lead Group A with 3 points, along with China, who are in action later this evening at the Khalifa Stadium. As Geinrich can't get a touch on that, he wants the corner. It's a goal kick.
Kuwait's coach was furious over 2-match ban of Neda, who kicked striker Xang Yu in the groin after a normal tough battle in the last match. But it's a tournament, and he has a big squad, and he can substitute one defender. Should be possible.
Walid tries to dribble his way through the centre of the Uzbeki midfield. The problem, I think, was, Bernd, more than that, was that Musaid Akhmedov, the central defender, goes on another of those mazy runs forward. Is that he was their best defender. He looked the most comfortable in possession of the ball for feeding the ball out at the back to midfield and even further with his long ball game.
Yeah, very important for his team.
Yeah.
Great switch now. He cannot make it 1 against 1.
Tursunov just losing out there to a combination of Walid and Shaheen. It's going to be a throw for Karpienko. Takes it short to Haydarov. Karpienko again on the left foot this time. It's over Geinrich, back out to Jeparov. Now what's that for? It's gone against Geinrich. He rubs his head in dismay as Mr. Shukralla runs away, and a little slip by Andreev. Fahad with a scoop over the top. It's not a bad ball towards Bader. He didn't want it back in against Ismailov though. Akhmedov for Kapadze. Now Haydarov. Shatsky.
You can see all his experience.
There's ball to the back post towards Geinrich. He leaves it for Jeparov. Nice little touch, Jeparov. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. It's going to be a goal kick. The referee hadn't seen it at first. The flag raised, he was allowing play to continue. There's Geinrich's reaction to that free kick. It's a good ball for Walid. Loses out to Tursunov. Karpienko for Jeparov. Now Akhmedov again. Loves to get forward. I haven't seen his goal against Qatar on the opening night of this 15th Asian Cup. Make sure you catch a highlights package of it, because it was some strike for the moment. Goal of the tournament, just about. Shaheen slows down quickly by Tursunov.
Coach Vadim Abramov, he loves European football, and all the time he used to go for training camp with the Olympic team, all of his youth teams, to Austria, to Germany, to Italy. to study how they play.
That's a lovely touch from Badir for Talal, who was looking to release Fahad, and he just about did as well. Andreev with an important challenge on the touchline. Well, they play in the Asian Confederation, but they do have a certain European style about them, don't they? They've got several players that actually play in UEFA clubs as well. A few in Russia. They've got Ibrahimov, who's with Bohemians in the Czech Republic. Jara. That's a good ball. Walid in acres of space on the left-hand side. Now Yusuf is making his way through. That's a great pass. Just too far for Yusuf. But that was a lovely ball from Walid on the left-hand side, and not for the first time. Burnt.
Excellent.
Victor Karpinkian.
That's the way they play. Only counter-attacks. They are not able to control the match, to have a quiet building up from the defense. They are playing very, very fast forward. But now it's another good chance.
Where was Victor Karpienko, the right back? As Walid was just left open to charge forward. Not for the first time. The Uzbekistan fullbacks, in their need to get forward and press in midfield, are forgetting about the men behind them. Jeparov slows things down again. He looks for his old cohort in midfield, Timur Kapadze. Taking too long. Shaheen for Talal. Jara. Again looking for that run. That's another lovely pass. Defense-splitting ball between Andreev and Akhmedov. And again, though, it's that final pass once again from Fahad.
But Fahad is the only striker who always shows a way. He's always looking for a chance, for an opportunity to be free. It's not perfect, but I like him very much.
Jeparov. Throw taken quickly. Jeparov again. Opens play out with Haydarov. Ismailov for Karpienko, who's decided to sit back and play right back a little bit at least. Another fabulous play for Andreev. Patient build-up this time from Uzbekistan. Akhmedov with a good ball for Andreev. Andreev's cross is a nice one to the back post. It was a teasing ball. The keeper thought about coming for it, stayed on his line, and in the end, Shaheen just turning it behind for another corner. Jeparov will come across to take it. In fact, well, that was a set-piece move from Uzbekistan. I think we've had the old Brazilian trick there, Burnt, of touching the ball
going
outside
away.
your circle,
Yeah.
going away, the other player coming across to take it and playing on. I'd love to get a replay of this if we can, if the director just had that first touch, because Jeparov is trying to explain what happened now. They've caught out, perhaps they feel, the linesman.
They have never seen such a corner kick. They need discussion to find out.
Khaled Al-Alan, the linesman on that far side of the pitch, compatriot of Nawaf Shukralla. Now let's have a look. Well, that's when he takes off, Jeparov. It was the earlier touch.
Good idea. It's the same old story. It was correct. He touched the ball, went away, another player came, and excellent. Yeah.
There it is. Now let's have a look.
So.
Oh, well, I'm not so sure now, but he's touched it twice.
Still on.
Excellent replay, but the number 17 touched the ball twice, so in theory, it should be a free kick. He didn't just touch it out of the corner, he touched it and then put his foot on it. So correct decision, I think, from the referee in the end. Well, we were all lauding the clever play by the Uzbekis, but in fact they made a bit of a meal of it. And they've been given it back as well. So good camera work, good direction, and good refereeing from Mr. Shukralla. That's a lovely touch for Geinrich. Good use of the body as well.
Offside.
The flag up.
Yeah.
Geinrich worked so hard against Qatar. Big, strong boy, leads the line well. There's now Yusuf. Can't show a clean pair of heels that time to Ismailov. Kapadze. Jeparov wide on the left. Kapadze looks back the other way now. Looking for the run of Geinrich. It's going to be... Oh, the flag's up for offside again against the number 15, so he's got to get that sorted out. They are playing a 4-4-2 formation this evening, Uzbekistan. We saw Shatsky against Qatar playing in a sort of wide midfield role on the right. This evening he's playing up front alongside Geinrich.
Players like to play 3-5-2, told me the coach. It's very, very difficult for him to convince them to play another system. But he did it today, but he put a midfielder in a defending position, and the team was happy.
Kapadze with a nice turn around Talal. Yakub across in cover, and he's won the throw as well. Timur Kapadze, who's got a big cut over his right eye from that opening game against Qatar. And still some swelling there as well. Shatsky, no way through that time. Walid. Talal forward, another one for Yusuf to chase. The keeper comes a long way. And he does well this time. Nestorov, the Bunyadkor goalkeeper, as you can imagine. Many of the players drawn from the Bunyadkor ranks, and if they weren't there last season, they've since signed for them. Essentially drawn from two clubs. The Uzbekistan squad, Pakhtakor, Tashkent, who we talked about earlier, and Bunyadkor, Badr Al-Mutwa. Now, he was an injury doubt ahead of their opening match. He played, but was not massively effective. Fahad for Badr again. He's won the throw. And he leaves it for Yakub. We're approaching the final 10 minutes of this first half. It's been a fairly even play so far, burnt between these two sides as Yakub gets the cross in. Curler with the outside of the right boot.
But as I can see, Uzbekistan is willing to win this match. They do more, they look more comfortable. In combination, they are tough. But, you know, behind in their mind is still, if we do today, if we make a draw, if we play 1-1, maybe we are going to 4 points, it's enough. I know players. The coach can do what he wants, but if the team is not completely convinced that we go for pressing, we go to win this match.
As the counter-attack is on again, and it's a good ball for Walid. Again, it's in behind Karpienko. Walid with a devilish cross-come shot. Badr claims it was deflected. They all claim it was. Well, that's why it had such a strange on it. It looped up and then tipped into the area. And now it's Akhmedov again, the central defender, on another one of these charges forward. The first almost resulted in a goal. And the second, he's put the brakes on. Here he is again then. Number 9 again, it's a lazy pass from Ismailov that puts him under pressure.
As long as the Kuwaitis have the ball, they like to play. They are like children. They want to pass the ball. They want to have dribblings, crosses. And if they lose the ball, completely finished. They don't do anything to win it back.
Fahad with the defensive header. Andreev will get there though. Jeparov wants it played quickly. The run from Kapadze as well, the veteran. Early ball, the cutback. Geinrich leaves it. Still the chance is open. Haydarov still going. Again closed down. Jarrah, that's given away far too cheaply. Haydarov for Kapadze. And what can the big man do? Well, that was a difficult pass back for Haydarov. Jarrah. Nice touch, but he's dispossessed as well. Tursunov interchanging passes. Jeparov. Tursunov coming across to this left-hand flank for the first time. Jeparov again, that's an excellent challenge. Yusuf now, it's 2-on-2 if they can get it up. Beider is 1-on-1 in the middle against Ismailov. He was making the runs looking for it, they couldn't find him, now they've got it to him. And it's too late now, Kapadze strong in the challenge. Jeparov over the top for Geinrich, flag stays down this time. He's been forced wide and in the end, Hussein getting across in cover. That was that great tackle.
Great tackle, yeah.
Almost a flying back heel straight to his own player, keeping it in play. Foul against Jeparov. Asian Player of the Year in 2008, Jeparov, the number 8 captain of Uzbekistan. Geinrich. Jeparov again. Geinrich's been fouled by Walid, playing his 101st international match now for Kuwait.
Only 8 years. A great individual achievement, but we should not forget they have so many matches, so many tournaments.
Well, that's it, that's over 12 games a year, isn't it?
Absolutely, and Metsu said his team is tired. There is no mentality for another big tournament.
That's what the Qatar coach Bruno Metsu was saying this week as the ball in towards Ismailov, cleared, well defended that time by Hossein. Haydarov looking for Karpienko. Bruno Metsu in the press this morning here in Qatar saying all the Gulf nations, they've just played the West Asian Federation Championships in October, then October, November almost, then November, December, the Gulf Cup, which are big tournaments here, particularly for the Gulf nations, the Gulf Cup. And we saw that Syria, Jordan, not involved in the Gulf Cup. They've both received excellent starts to the tournament. 1-1 draw with Japan for Jordan, Syria defeating Saudi Arabia. But every Gulf nation,
foul and should be booked,
lost their opening match in this tournament so far. It is a yellow card, the first of the match for Hussein, the number 4. And that's what you're saying about Kuwait, Burns, that mentally, another big tournament, they're third in 3 months. That's too much for these players.
Absolutely, because if they play these tournaments with one team, maybe with 14, 15 players, it's too much. And I cannot understand why they don't send to such a tournament, maybe West Asian Cup, a second team or B team, or send the Olympic team, rest players who have such a great tournament like Asian Cup.
And also have club football to think about as well. These clubs are paying these players to play for them, and they're playing this massive number of international matches per year. Sometimes they're playing more internationals than they are club matches.
Yep.
Well, the free kick is just outside the D. Jeparov, who can hit them with the left or the right. He scored with the left. And of course, the other man standing along there is Maxim Shatsky, who currently holds the record, 32 international goals for Uzbekistan. Make that 33. It's 1-0. Uzbekistan lead. It looked like it took a big deflection on the way through. Shatsky with another goal to add to the list. The veteran, 32 years of age. What a player he was, and showing that he's as important as ever to this Uzbekistan national side. The goal coming just 4 minutes before half-time. It did take a big deflection.
Oh, deflection. But it doesn't matter. The question is again, why they make such stupid fouls around the box.
And the final touch coming off Haydarov, the number 7, who just peeled out of the wall to get the decisive touch. It'll be interesting to see who that's given to, because Shatsky, well, the ground announcer, has given it to Maxim Here he is again. Gunrick just turning the wrong way. Well, normally, if that had come off a defender, it would have been for Shatsky, because the initial effort was goal-bound, whether it would have been saved or not. But now that that's come off Haydarov, surely it's got to be a goal for the number 7. Relieves it there for Jeparov, Kapadze, Akhmedov. Shatsky again, wrestling his way through illegally, according to the referee. Al-Talal. Back out for Amer. Walid. So once again, burnt for all their attacking play, for all their speed up front. Nothing to show for it, Kuwait.
No way.
Uzbekistan just too strong again, even if the goal has come from a set piece. Fahad. Gives it away again. Yakub was making that run through. Kapadze picks out Haydarov. All the way across for Tursunov. Jeparov with the ball for Gainrik. That's a good ball as well. He leaves it for Haydarov. Back in first time. Good piece of defense again from Amer.
It looks like a little bit a youth team of Kuwait plays versus a professional team from Europe.
Now who do you give this goal to? There's the free kick. Ronaldinho used to deliberately control the ball off his back. I'm not sure Haydarov was trying to deliberately deflect that one into the goal, but surely it's got to stand for the number 7.
But it will be delivered to Skatskish, 100%.
He'll pull rank, will he?
Yeah.
In the changing room. Good defensive work from Ismailov, making sure he was always goal side of Youssef Jarrah. With a little nod back for Shaheen. Walid. Again, Walid turns Karpienko inside out, and that's a good, powerful cross. Haydarov. Gainrik looking to get it wide to Jeparov.
But Walid shows the first signs of resignation. It's after the first half. There is, I don't see a chance for Kuwait. And it has nothing to do with 3 tournaments. They are not strong enough, physical not strong enough to play such a team like Kuwait.
Offside.
Like Uzbekistan.
I don't think it's offside against Yakub, who was making the run through. I think it's the first offside. From the little touch-off pass. Yeah. Akhmedov. 1 minute of additional time at the end of this opening period. Jeparov looking for Andreev's run. He's enjoying himself out there, isn't he, the number 8, Jeparov. He's got time on the ball. He can pick out his passes every time. He decides to go left or right. All at will. Here he is again. Closed down by Jarrah. That's better. A bit of pressure in midfield. 30 seconds left in this opening period. It's long towards Shatsky. Goran Tufedzic down in front of us. He has not moved, as we see another replay of the goal.
But he feels as well his team is not good enough for Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan underlined their potential. Absolutely.
Uzbekistan can be counted on, then burnt perhaps in the latter stages of this competition, as there goes the half-time whistle. They're leading this Group A clash, their second match of the tournament, by a goal to nil. Shatsky and Haydarov combining on 41 minutes to give Uzbekistan the 1-0 lead. And already the first signs of frustration as well. Walid having words to the referee as they make their way off the pitch. And Bernd, the first half in which Kuwait looked dangerous at times on the counter-attack, using their speed and pace wide, but really not creating any real danger, if not in the very first minute of the game, when Fahad forced the Uzbeki keeper into a challenge. Well, that's all we've got time for in this first half. It's Uzbekistan leading Kuwait by a 1-0. And Bernd, once again, we talked about that killer pass. We talked about it the first time we saw Kuwait. We're talking about it again now because that's one of the main things you notice about this team. They've got the players. You're talking a lot about their inherent desire to keep fighting for every ball. But in terms of technique, they can pass it around. They love it when they have the ball, but they don't have the quality for that final pass.
For me, it's a big disappointment not to see combinational football from a team which is focused for technical football, for passing, for combination. They have not the power for long balls. They have not power for battling. They have no power for fights. They have to play football, and you don't see anything. There are 2-3 dangerous crosses from Walid, who has more than 100 caps, but that's it. And it's a big difference to play West Asian Cup.
Well, that's right. There's a big difference between that and the Gulf Cup, and then coming here to the Asian Cup. That first chance was for Walid. That was the best chance of the opening exchanges. Great ball in. Now, I wonder if it just took a little touch there off Hossein before Akhmedov could get his head on it.
And we saw both World Cup in South Africa. I believe the difference between African teams and Europeans is not so big as between Arabic teams and European teams. The difference is...
Well, the African side, certainly those from West Africa, they're physically giants. As we see the goal again, well, we've seen it several times during that first half. Here it is from a silly free kick given away through the back of Geinrich, and once again he, while not scoring, the big number 15, underlining his importance as well. He's a big boy up front, the number 15. He earned the free kick, and it's Shatsky who puts it away off the back of Haydarov. Well, it's words at half-time. It's 1-0 at the break. We'll have a look at the statistics of that first half, chances, and also just who's been doing the most running and whereabouts on the pitch as well. It's always interesting to see who's been dominating which areas of the pitch.
We know already, statistic will confirm the result. Definitely more possession of Uzbekistan. They won the battles.
I don't have statistics. We'll be back with all the second half action coming right up in a couple of moments' time. Stay with us here at the Al Gharafa, where it's Uzbekistan 1, Kuwait 0. Welcome back to the Al Gharafa Sports Club Stadium. Group A football from the 15th Asian Cup, Qatar 2011. It's Uzbekistan leading Kuwait by 1-0. Uzbekistan, who won their opening match 2-0 over host nation Qatar, are taking a very important step, possibly towards the second round. If they can hold on to this lead, depending on the result later today between China and Qatar, a victory for China later this evening and a victory here for Uzbekistan will see those two nations both through with 16 points apiece. So substitution immediately for Kuwait, the number 18, Jara Al-Aliki, the 29-year-old, who said at the start of this tournament, we're ready to make a big shake here and win our first Asian Cup since 1980 on home soil. Well, they have to turn things around drastically if they're to do that. And coach Goran Tefedzic has decided drastic times call for drastic measures. He's moved up a second striker with the introduction of a new striker playing upside Yusuf up front. Nawaf is the new man into the game, the 24-year-old from Al-Qidsiya. And they're playing with a line of 4 up front now. And they have Badr Al-Mutfa playing just behind. It's almost like a 4-2-1-4. 4-1-1-4 rather formation. Badr, who's now in central midfield alongside Talal. The overlapping run, and the cross is a good one, and the header immediately from the substitute.
Maybe the start in the second half gives them some more confidence to change everything. Great cross and a good header.
Nawaf has been on the field just 60 seconds as he headers that one just over the crossbar. Yusuf was making the run to the front post, just behind him, the substitute. And that wasn't far away from an equalising goal. That's the best move we've seen from Kuwait in the game as well, Bert.
And exactly. And now the Kuwaitis, they know we have to do something. If not, that's it. It's the end of all our dreams. They are here to win something. Maybe they believe we can win this tournament.
As Fahad gets down the right-hand side, Fahad, well defended. Very well done indeed, but only cleared as far as Shaheen. Now Talal, he's got Walid wide on the left. He finds him now, the left winger. Walid comes inside, challenge from Tursunov. And that's a penalty, surely it is. Well, they've been handed a lifeline back into the game. The referee pointing to the spot. It looks a fair call. And what a good piece of coaching, Bert, from Goran Tefedzic. The man he's just brought on has headed over and has now earned a penalty. Nawaf.
Clear penalty. Clear penalty. Absolutely 1 meter inside the box. There are no doubts.
Ismailov, the defender, leaning across in front of Hamad. And now it's Badr Al-Mutfa, the 25-year-old, the legend in Kuwaiti football, to keep his country in the Asian Cup. The referee has everyone outside the box. Badr versus Nestorov. He's had very little to do so far, the Uzbekistan keeper. What can he produce here? It's 1-1. Slotted away by Badr Al-Mutfa. The Kuwaiti captain making no mistake from 12 yards out. And Kuwait are right back in this one. Sayed Nada, the player sent off in the first match, who apologised to his teammates for what he felt was a silly red card that cost his side any chance of a result against China. Well, now with the help of their supporters, can Kuwait reproduce some of the form they've been showing over the last couple of months?
There must be a thunderstorm in the changing room during the halftime, because Kuwait completely changed attitude, pressing. They're very aggressive all together now.
Adair, who felt he should have had a goal against China when it was still 0-0 from a free kick. Wide on the left wing, which was spilt by the Chinese keeper. Replay showed it looked like it was just over the line. A hard one for the linesman, of course. It was completely shielded by the keeper. And there would have been just as much controversy, I think, if he'd given the goal than if he hadn't. Hossein charging forward, one for Fahad. It's a good ball. Now they've got no one in the middle. Fahad holds things up, lays it back for Hossein. Deflected. Well, that looked deflected. The linesman and referee.
Should be a corner.
And now it's Abramov who has some thinking to be done. Well, clearly coming off Akhmedov. And they do look a changed side. Goran Tufedzic, who's come through the Serbian coaching system at university, sports studies, for 4 years, then an extra 3 years to get his coaching licenses. He's coached Serbian national youth teams. He's coached here in Qatar with Al-Qidsiya as well. He was assistant coach to the Qatar national team. He's taken over Kuwait, and as Australian football fans know only too well, he's worked wonders with this side. Now, they haven't shown their full potential in the tournament so far, but they've got about 38 minutes to try and save their tournament. They're halfway there, but Heinrich is lining this one up. It clatters into the substitute, Hamad, who is the player who has turned things around so far. Bader. Well, Bader has won that ball.
Yeah, it's a foul, but they are motivated. They are winning battles now. They are fighting and running. They go for pressing, and it's possible to make a surprise, but they know exactly if they lose the game, that's it. They changed a little bit system. You're right, one striker, 3, 4 behind.
Well, it's a more attacking side, as Bader still chats to the referee, saying Heinrich, who took a blow on that right ear, was just making a back for him and wasn't contesting the header. Kuwait now have to be careful. Uzbekistan are preparing for a substitution. It's the number 19, Hasanov, who was so good in that opening match. I was wondering if he hadn't picked up a knock. He went off in the second half against Qatar. He's clearly all right, though, because he's preparing to come on, and his raids down the left flank can hurt any side. Jeparov with the free kick. It's not a bad one either. Now, as the linesman spotted a foul there, possibly for offside. Substitution then. The goal scorer, his 33rd international goal, Maxim Shatsky, makes way.
Maybe a little bit of his arm offside, 20 centimeters, not more. Very difficult for referees or linesmen.
27-year-old. Jassim Hasanov looks very like, and we'll see if he can produce anything. He's moved immediately onto the left wing. Japarov, cleared by Yakub. Kapadze, out muscle, well played by Bader. Good tackle from Kapienko. Approaching the 10-minute mark of this second half. Kuwait trying to force the issue. Walid's header only finds Haydarov. Tyosanov, rather. Good ball, he was looking for Jeparov. It's well defended by Hossein. Bader, nice ball over the top. One for Yusuf to chase. And he just hesitated for a moment. Thought the keeper was going to come out of his box and clear. And in the end, Nestorov sits back. Hasanov, the substitute. Jeparov. That's a good ball. Henrik, and a lovely little touch, almost picking out Hasanov, and that's a good play as well from Bader. Looking for the pace of Fahad, and look at that from the number 7. He's got Yusuf in the middle. And again, he can't deliver that final ball.
Unbelievable fast, Fahad, with the ball so quick.
What a great chance that was. Well, in the first match, he went with the white headband in the first half, blue in the second. He's changed things around. He's got the white headband now, and he looks a little bit faster in this second half.
Yeah, and you can even see if Kuwait, if they try to a little bit to play pressing and to attack them, to fight, then Uzbekistan cannot find a way to play.
Uzbekistan have everyone back except Alexander Geinrich. Bader to the back post, headed back across. Kapadze clears. Geinrich, now the counter-attack is on, and he goes the wrong way. He had Kapadze and Jeparov. Away to the right, that's fabulous play though, persistence. Hasanov now to restore the lead. Oh, he crosses, there was no one in the middle. Well, he needed to look up there, Bert, and have a look and see that Jeparov wasn't getting there in time. Well, he didn't look up once. Good play from Geinrich, showing real determination.
Yeah, Uzbekistan gave initiative to Kuwait now. Maybe they are trying to play for 1-1 or sit down now to wait what they are doing.
Geinrich.
It's a foul.
They're just too big and strong, aren't they, Geinrich? That looked fair enough, a shoulder on shoulder with Amir. A little push. Yusuf, Kapadze, Haydarov. And for Akhmedov. Beats everyone out of touch though.
They lost the way to play. They cannot find combinational style now. They long balls. They are waiting what the Kuwaitis are doing. Many mistakes, wrong passing.
Well, that goal has really flustered Uzbekistan. Andreev with the header down for Hasanov. He's got Jeparov ahead of him. That's well defended again. Yakub. Well, Yakub was one of their best performers in that first game against China. Talal. Twisting and turning. Hossein. He's given it away. Tursunov for Haydarov. He gives it away in turn to Walid. Now the break is on. They've got two forward. Walid, it's a nice pass for Hamad. Great tackle from Ismailov that time. Walid back in possession. Walid still, oh, he's just turned right into trouble there. Free kick taken quickly. Kapadze for Hasanov. Now they're getting numbers forward. Uzbekistan. They've got 6 forward now against just 5 defenders. Heinrich. Oh, and the pass is underhit. And it's the forward, Yusuf, who's back helping out. Akhmedov. Can he produce another thunderbolt? Kapadze, Akhmedov coming forward still. Still Akhmedov. Akhmedov still going. Brilliant play from the central defender. The ball to the back post. The flag is up. Karpienko was arriving. He didn't get there anyway. Here's that counter-attack again. Great challenge from Ismailov. One that had to be made as well. That was a fabulous run from Akhmedov. Well, Nawaf taking a very long time with the goal kick, helped on by Shaheen. Kapadze. Ball over the top for Heinrich. Over Aimea. Tyosanov. Tyosanov, one of 2 changes from the side that beat Qatar 2-0 in their opening match. Tyosanov, who holds like a couple of players in this Uzbekistan side, dual nationality, Russian and Uzbekistan. And he's one of several players that plays in Russia as well. He plays for Volga Nizhny Novgorod. My pronunciation is correct.
First division, not Premier League, first division. It's a good team in Russia.
Jeparov.
Russian former republics like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Moldova, they will come in the next 10 years. There are a lot of investments, there's a lot of money involved in football, and you can expect that all the experience of tradition, of history will come to these countries. They have a bright future, I'm absolutely sure. They are not ready now to perform with European teams, but they have a good future.
Heinrich goes into the book for just clipping the heels of Shaheen Awad. There are 3 Russian-based players in this Uzbekistan side. Marat Bivneyev.
Uzbekistan, 27 million citizens are there compared to Kuwait, 2.7. Large number of talents in Uzbekistan. So many football schools, new clubs, new stadiums, brand new stadiums, top quality stadiums.
Stadiums are at the heart of all issues in European football at the moment. It seems to be a real measure of the league, the Bundesliga. As a country that Germany has taken such advantage of that World Cup in 2006, renovating all those stadiums. And watching a Bundesliga match these days is an absolute pleasure now. 60,000, 80,000.
It seems to be you are going to a theater to see an opera or to have a concert. It's
Bader's ball played in very hard. Headed away for a corner. And Bader will be looking to whip this one in again with the right foot. And France are hoping to do the same thing with Euro 2016, having just got the rights. Several brand new stadiums under construction already. Oh, as the keeper Nestorov comes a long way for it, doesn't get there. And Amir with half a chance to try and turn that one back into an empty net. They came a long way. Nestorov. When you come, you have to get there. That's the general rule for goalkeepers. Haydarov. They don't look as confident with the ball. Jeparov. Hasanov. Wide on the left. Now he does have Gainrich to look for. That's a great ball for Jeparov!
What a goal! Unbelievable!
Fabulous strike from the Uzbekistan captain, who goes in to the celebration, backflips. It's a fabulous strike, left-footed, inside the far post. No chance for the keeper, and that has just underlined all his class. The 2008 Asian Player of the Year, with a fabulous strike from the edge of the box. It's 2-1, Uzbekistan leading Kuwait.
One touch.
Great pass as well.
This goal came from nothing. Kuwait took control of the match. They had a couple of only 5-10 minutes. It was fire on the pitch. Now it's 2-1. Again, long way to go for Kuwait.
It's just that little lapse in concentration again. Even as the cutback came from Hasanov, it looked like it was going to be cleared. They had numbers back there to clear it. They let it go all the way through to Jeparov. That is a wonderful goal.
Yeah.
I think they've just about got the two best goals of the tournament so far, Bernd, with that fabulous goal from Akhmedov and then that strike from Jeparov. There was a good free kick for China from Deng Zhuoxiang, which crashed in off the post. Japan scored a great header as well to equalise against Jordan. We've had some good goals. We've had some deflected goals as well.
A lot of deflections.
Nestorov. The ball is poor, but Jeparov has got there again to cover up. Kapadze. That's well played. And look at that immediately. What a difference a goal makes. Jeparov has stayed down. Kapadze looking after his colleague. Oh, we've seen a good second half so far with Kuwait trying to give as good as they've got as we see the goal again.
They can show it again and again. Marvelous goal.
What brilliant technique.
Magnificent.
There's nothing harder than hitting the ball with the left foot when it's coming from the left as well. And a bit of gymnastics training perhaps when he was a boy at the elite academy in Tashkent.
Some players have got injuries from such jumping.
You would never have liked to have seen your players celebrating goals like that, Bernd.
No, no. Very popular in Africa.
Talal. Back to Amir. Well, Kuwait now have under 25 minutes to do this all over again. We're midway through the second half. Yusuf, that's well played. Now Hamad is getting into the middle. It's a good ball from Yusuf, but again they don't look up. Again they don't see that there's no one in the middle.
They try to do all the time the same. Good passes over the wings, across, and nobody is in the box in the right position.
That really was just a fabulous goal to light up this match. Kuwait, who came out all guns blazing at the start of the second half. Their place in this tournament is under threat. Hossein, that's a good ball wide for Fahad. They've got it out of that crowded centre area. Now Fahad's cross towards Ahmad, making that run to the front post, but Nestorov is there, and here goes Jeparov now. Hasanov taking off up that left flank. He's the player that delivered the killer pass for the second goal, and that's a good ball for Gainrich. Talal is there in cover. Hasanov again. A little number 19. Oh, well, he was calling Gainrich to come for it. He's won it back again. Appeals for offside, nothing given. Free kick then in the end for the foul on Talal. Well, now we'll see the character of this Kuwait side. But can they dig deep? Can they pull themselves back into this tournament?
They cannot. They are not able. I will not change my opinion that Uzbekistan is playing on a level of, I believe, of China, maybe South Korea, maybe Japan. Not Australia. I think the Aussies are better, stronger, physical, better organized, more experience.
Tursunov. Back to Jeparov again. Tursunov, no offside. He looks up and crosses for Gainrich, who pulled the trigger on the bicycle kick, headed away by Hosseini. Haydarov, switch of play for Hassanov, that's well played. Oh, Gainrich was making that run to the front post. Now the cross deflected up in the air.
Jeparov is so good, the captain. He's absolutely leading his team to good performance in the first half and even now in the second half.
There he is again, a little 1-2 with Kapadze.
He knows if he has to make it fast or slow. Has a good vision for the game and even is a good battler, 1 against 1. He's not so tall, not so strong, but it's very hard to beat him.
Walid makes way, and Abdulaziz Mashan, one of the young stars of the Kuwaiti League with Kadzia, comes into the game. Now Aziz was a second half substitute in the first match as well against China and wasn't able to turn things around. Of course, they were playing with just 10 men. Fahad, back for Talal. He's got Shaheen alongside him. He looks for the switch of play to Yaqub. No way through, and they're starting to leave spaces at the back now, Kuwait, as they press forward. And if Uzbekistan decide to commit numbers forward on a counter-attack, they could find themselves in trouble.
I believe Kuwait feels now it's very, very difficult to score another 2 goals, but 1 goal is enough to draw, maybe to keep the chance alive to beat Qatar in the last match. But now it looks not so good for Kuwait.
Well, they have to hope that Qatar gets something out of their game against China. Gainrich has already been booked. It's thrown in there on Hossein. The Kuwaiti players coming in to just try and influence the referee a little bit. They had one of their players sent off in the last game. They're probably hoping to see the red card brandished for Gainrich.
You can give the yellow card.
Yeah, that was a high foot. Look at that.
It's the end of all his scripts. Maybe he needs time to think. But unfortunately, he has not our slow motion. It's advantage.
They're going to have another substitution. This time for Uzbekistan and Abramov. Not taking any chances. It's Gainrich who's being replaced immediately.
Immediately, yeah.
So Abramov, the coach, has seen exactly what's happened there. He knows that perhaps Gainrich's a little bit lucky to be able to be substituted. The number 13, Olim Novkarov, who's scored a goal every 2 games in his international career, but it's only a burgeoning one. 3 goals in 6 so far for Novkarov. The number 13 who's come into the game. Haydarov closed down, but again it just bounces their way. Andreev turns back, well played. Haydarov, he's got Kapadze ahead of him, looks for the big switch of play to Tursunov. Great ball, Lovely first touch from Tursunov as well, who tries it on the left boot. No problem for Nawaf. Well, Uzbekistan too are playing this sort of 4-4-1-1 formation. It's Novkarov who's replaced Geinrich, placed for post. Striker for striker. Karpienko. Kapadze. For Ishmailov. Akhmedov. Ishmailov again. Jassim, good challenge. And now Aziz, that's a nice piece of skill. Oh, and they had to be forward. It's just that final pass every time. There was something on there for Kuwait as Aziz turned out of trouble.
So many good dribblers, a fantastic dribbling, but he is not concentrated to play a pass over 10 meters.
And that has to be just about the lowest attendance so far, under 3,500. Turning up this evening at the Al Gharafa. Of course, it won't dampen the enthusiasm of the 100 or so Uzbeki fans on the far side of the pitch. Bader. They're leading 2-1 at the moment. Talal. Little touch looking for Aziz. The counter-attack is on. Hassanov shoots up that left flank. It's Jeparov again. Well, it's miles offside.
Yeah, the poor attendance today and in some other matches is a warning for the preparation of the World Cup 2022. It's still a long time to go, but it shows, you know, if you have a stadium of 60,000 or 50,000, it's very, very difficult to fill it. And a World Cup is a World Cup, and you need a big crowd. Asian Cup matches in front of 3,000 attendance, it's poor.
Fahad does well. Overlapping run. And a good cross, a great ball in. That time the runners were there. There was great pace on the ball in.
If we have statistic for crosses, they will win today, the Kuwaitis. But there is no one in the middle who can get the ball.
Hassanov loses out to Yakub. Now for Aziz, he's got Yusuf ahead of him. He's got Bader at the back post, but he's shown too much of that to Ishmailov. Twelve and a half minutes to go in regulation time. Kuwait have scored just one goal in nearly 2 full matches of football now. Can they score 2 in just over 10 minutes? You might have just about said yes at the start of this second half when they came out with renewed vigour. You said it. There might have been a thunderstorm in the Kuwaiti
or a wake-up
changing
call,
room.
yeah,
To
absolutely. Wake-up call from head coach, and everybody was running, fighting, running like dogs, but it's only 10 minutes. It's not enough. If you want to take something from this match, you have to do more. You have to do it together as a team, and they did not.
Hassanov for Andreev. Hassanov again, the substitute. Kapadze. Switch of play is a good one for Tursunov. Thought about the first time cross. Closed down by Aziz. Waits for support from Karpienko. That seems a fairly gentle free kick. Tursunov's gone down with cramp.
There will be soon another change.
That's the number 5. Ahmed Ajab, who wasn't in the initial 23-man squad for this tournament. He was called up on the eve of the first game when the defender Mohamed Rashid pulled out of the tournament with a knee injury that he'd been carrying for a while. In the end, he just wasn't able to continue. That's the defender, Shaheen, the left back, who makes way for the attacker, Ahmed Ajab, who scored in the 2-2 warm-up draw with Korea DPR on the eve of the tournament. Called up to the squad, and now he's out on the pitch as well. They desperately need a goal as we have a look at the goals in this second half. Bader getting his name on the score sheet at this 15th Asian Cup. It's always good at a personal level.
One of the best goals in this tournament till now. Japarov.
Absolutely brilliant strike. He knows a thing or two about scoring goals as well. Japarov, that was his 15th for the national side. But he's prolific at club level. Here he is again, trying to curl it towards the back post. That's just a waste though. Ten minutes to go. Fahad has been switched to the left by Tufedzic, the Serbian coach of Kuwait, and been told to just stay up front, I think. They've got 5 in a line up front now, Kuwait. They're playing a 3-2-5 formation as opposed to a 5-3-2.
Full risk now.
Well, they've got nothing more to lose, do they?
Dangerous to get a counter-attack, and that's it, 3-1.
As is. Wide for Bader, it's a great ball! And what a chance, the flag stayed down to Fedzic, the coach of Kuwait.
If you cannot finish such a fantastic cross, you cannot win this match. Look at it, 7 meters, open goal.
And he went for the volley instead of just side-footing it home. He went for the glory instead of security first. He just needed to touch it. Just open up the left foot and side volley that home to Fedzic. Was absolutely furious on the sidelines. And what a chance. And that's the second time the Serbian coach of this Kuwait side has almost made the perfect change. Brought on Hamad. Penalty after 5 minutes of the second half. Brings on Ajab, and really, it was a fabulously timed run from the striker. Onside. But he just lost his head, didn't he? It's that finishing touch every time with this Kuwait side at the moment. Fedzic, well, he's worked wonders with Kuwait, but we can see that if they give him the time, he might be able to take them even further.
Of course, he's disappointed, but because they did not expect such a result. First 2 matches, 0 points. They are here full of confidence. They believed in their team.
It all went wrong for them with that red card.
Such a performance. 2 games.
Amir. Wide for Fahad. Fahad now, little chip towards the penalty spot. The header back out. Hit by Hamad. That's well played. Back in, first time, Yusuf! Ooh! A spectacular effort. As it just curled away from that top corner. Not far away.
But now it works. All players are involved in attacking action.
Flick on for himself from Novgorod. He's won the free kick as well. He was being shepherded out of it, I think, by Aziz, and the referee's assistant deciding that he wasn't playing the ball. Karpienko decides to leave it for Japarov. Have a look here, he flicks it on. Foul there. Oh, and Aziz again with the poor pass across to the far side of the pitch. kick again for Uzbekistan, Andreev.
And they have plenty of time. They are killing the time now.
Talal giving away the free kick. Referee says, let's get this on. Hassanov. Oh, Kapadze wanted to play it into the hole. There was a big hole in the back line. It didn't come. It's back to Akhmedov. Haydarov, Ismailov. Switch of play for Hassanov again. It's a good ball. Just stretching for it. Taken quickly. Japarov. Kapadze is there, but that's exactly right. They slow things down again. Haydarov. Tursunov's open on this near touch side. They go via Karpienko. Karpienko. Hassanov. He's got Japarov wide. Hassanov tries one. Well, it soaks up a few more seconds. We're inside the final 5 minutes.
Even if he cannot find the target, they try to do everything to score a goal from 20-25 meters. They take every single chance. One-touch football. Skackic did it. Japarov scored a fantastic goal.
And now they have an opportunity. There's still plenty of time for Kuwait. Ahmad pushed in the back by Haydarov. Bader with the free kick. Hosseini has come forward. Amer has come forward. Ajab is there, and it comes. Back out. Talal over the top, but nobody making the run. The Uzbeki defense stepping out quickly. And Nestorov slows things down again. You could say, again, for the moment, it's been a case of too little, too late in this second half for Kuwait, but they haven't really shown anything. It's been far too little. But it's not too late just yet. If they can produce something, just some of that play.
In 90 minutes, we couldn't see one ball who split the defense of Uzbekistan.
Their best chance of the match, apart from the penalty, has come just now with that cross and that great run from the number 5, Ahmed Ajab. He should have scored. That could so easily have been 2-2. Yaqub, he's a player who gives it everything, always fighting. And the free kick has gone Kuwait's way, and it's a yellow card for Hassanov, who seems a little bit surprised, and I sympathise. Let's have a look. Oh no, there is a shirt tug on there.
Small touch, but he saw it, he was close.
Yaqub with the ball in, not on, no one fighting for the second ball. Ahmad with the little chip for Ajab, can he get there though? No, flags up, the referee hasn't seen it, now he has. And Hassanov launches the ball into the crowd again. Ahmad sends it back into the crowd. Let's see if someone can keep a little souvenir this time. Keep it off the pitch at any rate for the last 90 seconds or so, plus stoppage time. Yes, they're off. Appealing for the free kick, Kuwait. It's Aziz for Fahad, who's shown some great pace but hasn't been able to make things count. Aziz again. Aziz comes inside, still Aziz. Novkarov, who puts it out of play. So that Tursunov, it looks like, can receive some treatment. Well, it hasn't gone out of play. Kuwait want to play on, and the referee in the end, to prevent perhaps a diplomatic moment, decides on diplomacy. Blows the whistle, stops the clock. It is Tursunov who's gone down holding that left ankle.
Really unlucky.
Right ankle, rather. Well, Kuwait is still asking the referee, why have you stopped play? We want to play on. One last change for Uzbekistan to run the clock down a little further. It's the 23-year-old midfielder Vagiz Galyulin who's going to come on. He's actually on loan at FC Sibir Novosibirsk. And he's on loan from Ruben Kazan, who are a big Russian club. Champions a couple of years ago. Winners over Barcelona at the Nou Camp as well in the Champions League. So that's Tursunov, who was already cramping up earlier, who I think has in the end succumbed to a bit of cramp in that right calf. He's replaced by Galyulin. Drop ball, Kuwait. Long ball forward. Fahad. Fahad still tries the shot. It's a great effort, and what a save! Nestorov flying away to preserve his side's lead in the first minute of stoppage time. And finally, we see a finished product from Fahad. That looked like it was heading inside that far post before Nestorov threw himself at it and palmed it away. Well, that's a great save, Bernd. Up there with the save from the Syrian keeper in the final minutes against Saudi Arabia to preserve their 2-1 lead as well.
But even a fantastic strike from Fahad. For me, the best player in both games for the Kuwaiti team. Most dangerous player.
Here he is again. He manages to keep that in play. Again, he slides past his first player, Aziz. Aziz, now he's a little dribbler. Amir. Amir's cross, deflected. Oh, the keeper's come for it, hasn't got there, but again, there's not enough numbers up front. Yaqub. Talal for Fahad again. Fahad's cross again. It's going to be one for the keeper who comes and punches. As is still bundled over by Haydarov. Abramov kicks the grass. The Kuwaiti coaching staff telling everyone to go forward now. The keeper's on his way. Nawaf Al-Khaldi, who hasn't scored yet in his international career. And this could just about be the moment. What a save from the keeper at the other end. Well, Yaqub is staying back. Badir's ball. Oof. Well, he's just stood there and swatted it away like a big bear.
The keeper is running back, not to receive a counter-attack.
Nestorov with the punch away. Goal kick, and surely that will be just about it by my clock. We've got 10 seconds left in stoppage time. We might, of course, at the referee's discretion, have a little bit more. Well, it was a confident punch from Nestorov, but a little unusual to see a player punch it there. Whistles from the crowd. Nestorov, long and straight out of play. The referee is allowing play to continue. A look at the watch, and there goes the final whistle. Uzbekistan defeat Kuwait by 2-1, and we'll be watching eagerly as China take on Qatar later this evening to see if they are already qualified for the second round with a game to spare.
Great achievement, a deserved achievement today for the Uzbekistanis. They are the better team, they are physically stronger, they are confident, they scored fantastic goals in both matches, Qatar and today versus Kuwait. Kuwait is broken, they are down, disappointment all around. Fans are leaving the stadium.
Well, they know now that they need nothing short of a miracle if they're to qualify for the second round. They have to hope that Qatar beat China this evening so that they'll stay on 3 points, and then hope that they win their final game against Qatar, and that Uzbekistan defeat China so that we have 3 sides on 3 points at the end. For the moment in Group A, it's Uzbekistan with 6 points and +3 goal difference. China second with 3 points +2. Qatar and Kuwait with no points. Bert, thank you very much. That's all we've got time for again from the Al Gharafa. As the two sides shake hands, we'll see you again later this evening, and more football from the Asian Cup tomorrow. Bye-bye.